Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video in the inventory multiplayer component system. This is gonna be episode 15 and we're just gonna keep cracking on. So we are getting somewhere. We got a pretty nice base with some different inventories. We got some categories that we can swap between. We can drop, pick up, split, yada yada yada. So it's looking good. Some quick fixes here. It should be that when we're gonna need to do a lot of stuff with these for when we do controller as well. So I'm just gonna hold on that for now. But when I select like all, it should be that one of them is, you should be able to see like which one you are on. This is like a design choice, so I don't want to go in too much on like art stuff because I don't want to go in too much into art stuff because you should all do your own things for your own project. And there's also another thing, like if I go up here, I jump up and I drop this one, it's gonna end up in the air, and we don't want that. So let's start by fixing that. So go into the inventory component and we have a drop item, and we need to this is the drop position, right? So we should do a line trace by channel. Before, actually, we should probably, let's make this as a function maybe. I'm gonna close this. We're gonna collapse to function. Drop item trace. I'm gonna call it helper. So what this function will do is that it will do a line trace from this position, which is the previous drop position, minus 1,000. So we will write line trace a long way to the ground, and if we hit something, we're gonna do return, and on the return node we'll do ground position, and as you can see it's a vector, so we will also break the hit and we'll get the impact location, maybe impact normal actually. Let's get the impact location. And this can be a pure function, I believe. We'll do like this. And just go into this one, and on the draw debug, we'll do for duration. So basically, it's the same function, just from the endpoint we cast a line trace down to the ground, and then we spawn the item on the ground position instead. Actually, it works, but then it spawns like this. So we still need to minus 1,000 plus 150. No, that's not it. This is correct. The trace should still be, but the impact location is going to be added. We're going to add 150 to the impact location. And that should give us yep, that's better. 150 was a little bit too much. Maybe. You can do whatever you want. This is just the default values. Yeah, that seems good. And now if I drop it from the ground, it's still gonna be there. So that's good. That's a good test. Do we have something else we need to clean up? I think that feels good. Yeah, perfect. Let's keep going with that. Let's fix the buttons. So we have these buttons. And issue is because we want to show. Yeah, can just do. I'm gonna do a quick. So we want to know like this is. Not sure how we should do that. The easiest way would be to get a button and set and make a function, to make like a custom button and set a function for that button. So maybe we're gonna do that. That would also help us when we do the controller stuff, I think. I'm just thinking a little bit here. I mean, we could I'm just thinking. Should probably do that off video. So yeah. Okay, let's just do it. So in here where we have our widgets, we're gonna do another widget. We're gonna call it user interface. We're gonna make a user widget. We're gonna call WB category button. The category button will be a canvas. It will be a button. There will be text. You can do this in several ways. You could do it like a fixed size. Let's do that. So I'm setting the text to 14 and I'm gonna set the button to 150 and 30. 40. 35. And and I'm gonna take the text and I'm gonna remove the left and right padding. There we go. And I am gonna change it to 130, I think. 125. There we go. I'm gonna go into the graph. We're gonna create we're gonna get the button. We're gonna set style. We're gonna grab this style, promote to variable, so we get the right one, which is a button style. We're gonna do this one, normal style, hovered style. So now we have two styles. And we're gonna do a custom event called set button set active. Gonna do another custom event, set inactive. And on the set active, we are gonna plug in the normal style. No, sorry, on the active, we're gonna call it active style instead. So on the set active, we're gonna plug in the active style. And on the set inactive, we're gonna plug in the normal style. And I'm just gonna do the normal style as default, and I'm gonna do the active style. What's happening? There we go. I'm gonna all of them, like all of the ones, normal, hovered, pressed, and disabled. I am going to just go down and make it black. For hovered, I'm gonna go down and make it a little less black, just so we still can tell when we hover it. On pressed, I'm gonna go back to black again. Can be darker, something like that. So we are gonna do an event dispatcher so that we can still call this button click from the widget blueprint. So event dispatcher button clicked. So this is now a custom button pretty much. So when this event, so we're gonna select this button, and when this button is pressed, we're gonna call it button pressed. So when this button is pressed, we're gonna call button pressed. When this button is pressed, no, let's hold for that for now. Good, that should be fine. We're gonna just do another variable here called button text, which will be of the variable, which will be a text. It's gonna be instances editable and expose and spawn. and we're gonna do event construct. So the do we have a pre-construct? No, yeah, event pre-construct. So this one gets called even before the game launches. So this gets called in the editor. So on event pre-construct, we're gonna get the button text. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna get the text here. Make sure it's a variable. We're gonna grab it. We're gonna set text to the button text. That's fine. We're gonna go into our inventory now. We're gonna swap all of these with no, you can see we in our inventory now have these category buttons. So I'm gonna duplicate. So for each of the normal buttons, we now have a category button. So the first one is all items. So we're gonna button text all, the MISC. We have the button text, MISC. I'm gonna rename them category MISC. This is gonna be category all. This is gonna be category consumable. It's gonna be category weapon. Category armor. Was it only 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we don't need this last one. There we go. And this one will say armor. This one will say weapons. This one will say usable. There we go. Now we can. So we have this category all button, and you can now see that we can use this button pressed, which is the same one as we had before. So we just need to swap out these. Remove this. MISC. Consumable. Weapon. And armor. Now we can remove the old buttons. And we can see that they are way too big. So we should change that. Actually, maybe we can just grab them. Can we? We can. There we go. So if we wrap everything with a scale box, we are fine for now. Not sure if that's a good solution, but it seemed to work for now. Let's see if that works. That's all. Yeah, so the functionality still works. One thing we forgot in our inventory, now when we press one of the buttons, we want to get the same button. So this is the MISC, category MISC, set focus. No, not set focus, set active. And we want to get the other ones, armor, consumable, all, weapon. And set inactive. I'm just gonna close Tora. There we go. So we got all of these. So we need to do the same thing for them all. Let's just check with the all category for now. So this is all, so that means we swap the all and the MISC. And let's see if we can try it between them. It's theoretically working, but it's... Okay, so on the set inactive, so go to the normal style and go to the button style here and copy the normal style, and just on the button normal style variable paste the same crash, no, paste the normal button style onto the hovered and everything. And the hovered changed it slightly. Actually, we can go to the normal style and get the hovered, copy the hovered. And for hovered we can do this. So it's a normal button. Let's see if that works. Yeah, now you can see that it's easier for us to actually see what button we are on at the moment. And yeah, this is artsy stuff. You can do whatever colors and whatever you want to. Just gonna go to the inventory, and you need to copy this to all of them. So this is the armor one, so that means we get the armor and we get the all and we swap them. This is the weapon, no, that's the consumables, that means we get the consumable and we get the all and we throw it back, swap them around, and we have the weapon, So we get the weapon and we set the all back. And all is fine. And yeah, it resets whenever we start the inventory. So since it always open on all, we should on the inventory construct should get all. And go like this. So that means by default when we open the inventory it's set to all. And there's one issue. When we close the inventory, you can see we stop moving. So depends if you like that or not. But you need to go into the designer for all of the buttons. Find focus. Is focusable? No. Okay, in the actual button, you need to get the button and you need to disable here is focusable. We're gonna need to change that when we do the controller, I think, because the controller needs to use the keyboard focus to work. But let's see if that works. That did not work. I think something's getting the focus. Interesting. What's the time? 27 minutes. I'm not sure. Why is it focusing? We are gonna get them all. Set focus. Set is focusable. I'm gonna get. Oh, we can't even get it. Okay, let's just try. Not sure if this will work, but we will see. 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't set the focus here, right? I'm gonna pause and see. All right, so yeah, some more details. It did not work with a button. I guess that's just how the engine works. I think it's because I think that's just expected behavior because buttons are automatically focused. I think it's also because I use tab maybe to close and open the inventory, so that might cause an issue. So yeah, anyway, it's working now. So to do that, go into the category button, designer, remove the button completely. We're not gonna use a button. Instead, just do a button image. I just made it gray. And then we have the text over. If I write something, you can see it's there. In the graph, instead I deleted the styles, and from the set active we just grab the button image, set it to black, and on inactive we set it to gray, and on pre-construct we still set the text. Remove all focusable stuff. Go to overrides. Since we don't have a button, we need another way to create, so we make this pretty much a button. So we do override on the mouse button down. You can find it in the list on mouse button down, and we call this call button pressed here instead. We can also make sure that we're actually pressing. That's fine. You can do it with both mouse buttons. Will change it, and then do a handled. So we call button pressed whenever we press the button. We can also do another override on mouse enter. And we can do on mouse. Isn't there on hovered? Can do on mouse leave. So on mouse enter. Set it to a little bit lighter, and on mouse leave. We set it back to this, unless we're going to do a variable called active. Do a bool. We're going to set active to true when we are active. We're going to set it to false when we are inactive. And we're only going to call these if we aren't active. And that should, and yeah, then everything is still the same in here. We pretty much remove the button. You can see that we can still hover them. The tint changes slightly. We can press them. We can still sort. So everything is working, and we can now use it more freely without stopping. That's it. That's gonna be it for this one. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.